Welcome back to Tarot Reading with Yulishka. Thank you for being here. Today we're doing a pick-a-card reading and asking what the universe has in store for you. The 3 piles that are set out have been shuffled along with an oracle card, and we have the first pile with the stellanite crystal, the second pile with the clear quartz crystal, and the third pile with the amethyst crystal. Take a look at the cards, take a look at the crystals, and make a choice on which pile you feel called to. Take a deep breath. What does your intuition tell you to pick? And pick that pile. And I'll be right back with your reading. Welcome, Group 1. You've picked the pile with the stellanite crystal, and we have 4 cards and 2 oracle cards for clarifiers. So our first card on what the universe has in store for you is the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is showing us that there's something going on, probably with money, that is making you feel uneasy. It's not a terrible time, but it's a time where you're feeling that perhaps you don't feel like you have enough. Things are not the way that you thought they would be at this point in your life. And even though we've got a opportunity that you might be ignoring, because we've got a door right here with a light on, and it can be knocked on. That door can be knocked on, and help can be asked for. But for some reason, something's holding you back from asking for that help. And it's not because you think it's not there. You know it's there. You know that there are people that can help you, that want to help you. But this is more about you're not wanting to, or feeling comfortable, or feeling like you can ask for that help. But it is there. It definitely is there. The situation isn't dire because you have that option. You have options, and you have people, entities, perhaps banks, a family member, the friends that certainly would open that door for you if you were willing, if you had the strength to go ahead and ask. And that can be a hard thing to do, to ask for help, especially when it concerns finances. And let's see what our next card shows us. Okay. So the next card is the 10 of Wands. He is carrying a big load of wands and is very, very even unsure where his next steps are going to be. He's put in the work, just like you've put in the work. And you're on your way to the thing that you want to achieve. There have been some money blockages, but you've been doing the work, and you're at the point where you're finished with the work and doing the job, or doing the task, or doing the thing that your boss has asked you to do, or your professor in school has asked you to do, or your family member has asked you to do. But it's taken its toll, and your work has caused you to be carrying a load that is so heavy that some of the things that are right in front of you, You can't see them. So take a look at what's going on in your life where maybe you've willingly taken on too much, and perhaps are not being appreciated for it, and perhaps that relates back to, does someone, perhaps I want to say the word owe you, or should they be looking at how hard you're working because they're not, in your view, really appreciating what you're doing and what you've done for them? Because that's a lot that you've been carrying, and it's just really time for you to be able to put that heavy load down and reap some rewards, because you've been doing all that work and you've been struggling. And let's see what the next card says. Okay, we've got someone coming in here. We've got the King of Pentacles. Okay, that's interesting and good. So in your life, take a look at who is available to you. It may be a male figure or someone who carries male energy. It doesn't have to be a male, but someone who has the strength, knowledge, and wherewithal to give you guidance regarding perhaps financial matters. Perhaps it is hiring a financial planner if you've been thinking about it and not sure if it's the right thing to do. Someone who can give you that guidance, someone who has a very strong knowledge base in the financial world, because you've been feeling like the loss, it's just not, things aren't adding up financially. You've been carrying this load, you've been working so hard, and now it's time to maybe ask, no, it's not maybe, it's time to ask for some professional help and just put it out there and say, this is what's going on. Why is this making sense or not making sense? And get that guidance that you need, because there is someone who has that energy and has the knowledge base that can do that for you. And they're in your life right now. And they might be part of, a group of 3 people that you know, if that resonates with you, because we do have 3 figures in this card, but that center person, that King of Pentacles, is going to be the one that's going to be actually have, the person will have the answers. And I say financial planner, and I mean someone who actually has the credentials to help you sort things out. And that's really important to remember when you're thinking about things that are financial. And finally, we have the Justice card. And that, I think, is really appropriate, because whatever's been going on here that's been making you feel the lack, because you've been working so hard and you're going to be getting some help, finally you're going to feel like, okay, you know what? This is starting to all fall together. This feels like justice as a term and as a situation. The situation is going to feel like it's coming together. This card will make sense because justice is coming in and saying, okay, we're going to make sure these scales are properly weighed evenly so that whatever it is that you are due and owed, you receive. And our clarifiers are, first, resilience. And that kind of goes along with you've been resilient. You've been doing all the work. You've been doing all the things. You've been resilient in all of your efforts. And the second clarifier oracle card is building blocks. So you're going to use all of these steps as your building blocks to get to this point where you're feeling like, okay, justice has been attained. But it's not going to happen unless you realize you've been doing too much, carrying the load, probably for others, for way too long, not getting the recognition or the compensation in whatever manner, and someone's going to straighten that out for you, and justice will be had. Be resilient, because all of these things together are the building blocks that are going to get you there. And that's the reading for Group 1. Welcome in Group 2. You've chosen the clear quartz crystal, and your reading will start with this card, which is the Three of Wands. And in this card, we're saying that you've started a project, you've been working on it, and you have put in the time and the effort to make things happen. You have given it your all, and you are now awaiting patiently the results of your labors to see what will come of them. And you're confident, though, because you know, just as she in this card has trained these falcons and put in the time and worked with them, she's confident that they are going to fly back to her upon her call. And just like your project that you're working on, your endeavor that you've started, you are now in that phase where you're waiting and you're thinking, okay, I've done all the things. I can't do any more. I just have to be patient at this point and wait. Our next card is, okay, it's a little bit of a warning card of a person who might come in and have something to say about what you're doing. Just be very careful here, because this person is going to be known to you probably as an emotionally immature person, who has perhaps said something previously about your endeavors, and they may have, a message or a piece of information that is helpful, but take it with a grain of salt. Listen to them, of course, because, all information, the more information we have, the better, but it is, again, coming from a place that is showing that, this is just inexperience speaking to you who have already done all the work. The next card is the Six of Swords. Okay, this will show that you will be able to move on from whatever this is, whatever information that's coming in here that just is not useful. You'll move on from that. It is, something that you'll be able to just dismiss and say, okay, that's fine, thank you very much, but I'm moving on from that piece of information. I'm focused on what I've got going on here, and I'm doing the work, and I've done the work, and I'm just gonna, ignore that for the most part, because there's nothing there. So you're just moving on. And finally, we have the, okay, what do we have? The Six of Wands. Okay, so this is interesting. That would be the completion of the, and the celebration of you attaining the thing that you started working on back here. So this is going to be a very public type of celebration. It's not like you're going to get a letter in the mail, congratulations on whatever. People will know that you accomplished what you set out to accomplish, and that will be a very uplifting thing. It will be somewhat of a surprise, but you will have others around you, friends, circle of friends, co-workers, maybe family. They will all be celebrating with you because you were able to attain this thing that you set out to attain. And whether that be, a project that you were working on, or a creative endeavor, or a job perhaps, people will be excited for you, and you will be able to celebrate and know that this is going to take a minute. You're going to have a challenge here with someone coming in who has something to say about it. You're going to move on from that. You're going to finally be able to celebrate your win. And our clarifying oracle card will be wisdom. You will have the wisdom to know to ignore this information or whatever this is, gossip, someone who's trying to get in the way of you attaining your success. You're going to have the wisdom to know just to ignore them and move on. And then the final clarifying card is, let's see, thinker. Okay, so the thinker, don't overthink this. Just use your intellect, because you are looking at something or someone who is going to try to again bring in a message or a situation that is going to perhaps try to trip you up, but you're going to use your intellect and your wisdom. You're going to move on from it, and ultimately you will be successful, and that success will be celebrated, and it won't be something that you'll celebrate alone. So that's your reading for pile number 2. Welcome in group 3. You chose the amethyst crystal, and we will proceed with your reading. The first card is the Six of Cups, and in this card we see cups that are overflowing. The Six of Cups indicates that this will be something that has to do with family, and also perhaps a returning either family member that's been away from the family, possibly estranged from the family, and there are very nostalgic feelings about this, because these were happier times when this person was around. But for some reason, I'm getting that this is the past. This is how it was, and it was a time where things were good. But this is also indicating that someone from the past is possibly going to return. Okay, let's flip the next card. Okay, interesting. We have the Two of Wands, and we have someone sitting who is contemplating a decision. They certainly could be the family member that is going to return, or a loved one, perhaps from a relationship, that's making a decision about returning, and or the family is making a decision also about how to interact with this person when they return. Because when this person does re-enter the picture, they're coming with, I don't want to say issues, but they're definitely they're bound to something else, where their alliance or their leanings are not necessarily completely with the family. They're bound in another way. They're bound to something. they certainly are going to give off a good vibe. They're going to want to reunite, especially if this is a love situation, which it could be, and it certainly could be a male figure or someone who presents as a male figure. But again, they are also pondering, is this a good idea? I've got a choice here to, reintegrate, or not to do the right thing and not reintegrate properly. They've got some things that have tied them down, and it's not clear. This, from the card, it's showing that this might happen in the fall or near fall season, just because of we're looking at where this is. The nostalgia, the good times actually happen in the spring. So if that resonates with you, this person, when these things were good, if this is a male as far as a family member, again, or someone who was involved in a relationship with the family, the things were good in the spring, they're going to show up possibly in the fall. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can just be disruptive. Next card is the Knight of Swords, and this card is bringing in information that is going to help the decision making on whether or not this is going to actually work out, happen, and be a positive all around if this person does return. So whoever this is will come in, they will show up out of nowhere with information, perhaps about the person that needs to be known, and that's what it looks like, and it's going to happen quickly, so that the decision can be made, and this will be helpful in that decision, because you want a good outcome. If someone is returning, you want it to be a positive thing, and if this person is still in the middle of deciding where they want their life to go, and it's going to be disruptive to the family in any way, whether this is an ex or this is a person in the family or family adjacent, someone who you have brought in who is essentially family, perhaps not related by blood, but has become family. This information that comes in is going to be really important to pay attention to, because it is a swords card. So bringing in, the information will be powerful, and will help make this this decision-making process make sense. And finally, the last card we have is the Ten of Pentacles. So this information that is going to be brought in is going to be very important, and things will hinge on whether the Ten of Pentacles, happiness, where you've got all the things, you've got the happy family, you've got the financial stability, you've got the the joy of knowing that things are going well and are going to continue to go well. This information may be very important, because this person coming back could be an impediment to this outcome, Ten of Pentacles, that you so want, which is, of course, the happy family, the financial abundance, and so be wary of this person be aware that you will be getting information, and it will come in quickly. It will, as soon as they show up, the information will show up. And it will help decide, okay, how are we going to, we've had this happiness in the past. Is that going to pan out again in the future? So there's, some type of decision has to be made on this, this individual. And this information is going to be helpful. The clarifying cards are peace. So you want to protect your peace at all costs during this time. When you're thinking about this returning person, whoever they may be, the most important thing is to protect your peace, because that above all is going to be key to attaining this joyous situation where things are falling into place and everyone is enjoying their lives and enjoying prosperity, abundance, and the other clarifying card is truth be told. So what I'm getting from that is that this piece of information coming from the Knight of Swords is going to be something to really take and really take a hard look at, because that is going to be the truth about the situation with this individual, whoever it is that is returning. The truth will be told by someone unexpectedly, giving information quickly. You're going to want to retain your peace, and so let that truth direct all the decision making about what is going to happen with this person and how they will be received, because they will show up. This is, going to be somebody from the past. It's not necessarily negative, but, this could be a warning. And again, you're being told to protect your peace here, and the truth will be told. So there's something going on there that you need to know, because this is what you ultimately, again, want, is that 10 of Pentacles, abundance and safety and joy that card brings. So that is the message for the pile 3 with the amethyst stone. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this reading resonated. If it did, please do like the video and subscribe, and leave a comment on the pile that you picked and how it may have resonated with you in your life. Thank you again. Take care, and as always, be blessed.